Hey guys, I'm sorry. Some of you knew that I was going to be on live tonight, and for those of you who knew, I'm running like mega late. So it's been a whirlwind for me the past couple days. I've been out of town, and a lot of you know that, and I literally came home yesterday, and I'm flying out again tomorrow. And so I'm running around like crazy trying to unpack and then pack again, and it's a really good segue into the topic tonight around just the whole organization of your fitness plan is huge. And a lot of people, they take it for granted, and they wonder why they're not reaching their goal. And it really is because of what I'm going to talk about tonight. It all really stems back to it. But before I jump into the content of tonight's chat, there's a few things, I always have to give a couple of things at the top of the call. Number one, really listen to some of the things that I'm telling each and every one of you. I'm telling you things, and I want to repeat it again, and this is with respect to the first several weeks that we've been in the group. Number one tip that I have for you is come into the group. You're probably not going to see any results or very little if you don't show up. You really do have to show up. And so that's my number one thing. Come into the group. Every day I've got something in here for you. Starting probably tomorrow, I think it is. I have to look at my notes, but probably tomorrow you'll start to see things show up under the file section. There's a library in this group, and right now it's empty, and I will start putting things in there in preparation for us to close out in another week and a half, I guess it is, because I want you to be able to walk away with things. I challenge you to find a Facebook or any other kind of group that is going to give you the content that I'm giving you. I want you to be able to walk away with stuff that I'm talking about, walk away with actual deliverables that will help you. So I really want these groups to be very meaningful and meaty to you. So that's the number one. You got to come in here and you have to engage not with other people necessarily. It's more about what am I saying? How am I coaching you? What direction am I coaching you in? The little exercises that I'm giving you, not physical exercises, but the few little things that I'm telling you, you really should at least listen and try them. So the second thing, and this is really key, you got to follow the program. I think I might have mentioned this to Sally, but it's not just Sally, it's several of us in the group, probably more of us than not. You need to follow the plan. You need to follow the program. And Sally brought up a good point. She really did. She said, I really need the cardio, but I don't need the abs and legs. And so I'm only doing these two workouts for T25. And here's what I'm going to tell you. Your body works together. It all works together. You can't spot lose. Cardio's great. Or if you're only doing the stretching part of the program, you really need to, this is all about challenging yourself and doing things different. And so we want to do things different. We don't want to keep doing what we've been doing, because what we've been doing, although it may have been great, this is a way to push ourselves in another direction. So that's the second thing. Follow the program from start to finish. And some of you, I know in talking to you, have been saying, oh, I'm doing this program and this program and this program. I'm just kind of mixing it up. That's fine if you're not looking for results. If you just kind of want to just kind of see how the programs are and you're experimenting, perfect. But most of you are in this group for results. So I would recommend you follow the program, each and every one of you. For those of you who have not, aren't following a program at all, I really encourage you to get with me. I'm going to be combing through the group because I want to see what you're doing. If you're not following some kind of routine, you're not going to see the results. And I guarantee you in another week and a half, you'll look back and go, I don't see the results. And we don't want you to get discouraged. Okay, so that's the second thing. Follow the program, one program from start to finish. The third thing, I am seeing 2, maybe 3, I think I saw 3 today, posts in the group for a picture of your breakfast. This is huge. So I talked about workouts first. We went through the workout process first, but I'm telling you guys, we save the biggest for last. If you don't remember anything else in this group, I want you to remember one thing. Your food intake is 80% of your success or your failure. You will not see results. Even if you are working out and you're killing it, if you have a bad diet, you will not see the results. We'll come back to that. I know we will, several times before you leave this group. So post a picture of your breakfast every single day. You should be eating breakfast at least no more than 2 hours after you wake up. If you're eating breakfast, let's say you get up at 6 and you don't eat until 11, no, you really need to eat by 8 if you get up at 6. So within 2 hours of you waking up, grab yourself a piece of fruit, anything, just get it in your mouth. Obviously, not anything that's bad. We don't want junk food. All right, so those are my tips. So since we're talking about food, this is our focus over the next week and a half, I put together a system, and I put this together, oh man, to be perfectly honest with you, I've told you guys I've been meal prepping for over 30 years, and that is the truth. And I can do it with my eyes closed. I truly can. The system that I put together is something that I put together probably maybe about 20 years ago and didn't know I was doing it. So I finally wrote it down a couple years ago, and I didn't write it all down. And then over a span of about a year and a half, I started documenting it, and it's very, very detailed. I'm going to give you the key points of it, and then I'm going to give it to you. It is one of the gifts that I'm going to give to you for you to take away from this group. So this is one of the things that you get in my groups that a lot of people aren't able to get. I will be posting this video on YouTube so people will get a glimpse of it, but I will give you all of the details in a document so that you can go back and refer to it. All right, so here it is. It's about a 4 to 5 day, I think it's 5 day. No, it's 4 days. It's a 4-day process or system, I should call it. And it is, I literally can do the whole thing in probably 3 hours in 1 day because I know it so well and I've done it so many times. But if you're starting out doing it like you guys, I would recommend that you start out, even if you do have a meal prep system, I recommend that you try it and do it in the 4-day period so that you can really get the hang of it. So I'm gonna walk you through all the steps, and you're going to need to watch this video. Don't try to fast forward it to the end. This is your penny. Actually, this is your dollar for the day. So go through it, take notes. I will be giving it to you at the end of the group. I won't be giving it to you now, and I want you to be able to ask me questions. So the first thing I do for meal prep, and this is really, really key, this is what I call day 0. You have to toss it out. Get rid of it all. Anything, I don't have junk food in my house, so I'm not getting rid of junk food, but anything that is like day-old bread, which I don't do a lot of bread, but I do some. If my strawberries have gone bad, they're 2 or 3 in the refrigerator, whatever, I get rid of everything. So day 0, I just grab a trash bag and I toss. So I toss and I clean. I'm a very big bleach person in my kitchen because I'm germophobic. So I have the dishwater where you have suds. I pour a little bit of bleach in there and I bleach my refrigerator down. So after I toss everything, I bleach my refrigerator down, and then I feel good about bringing my new food into the house. So that's day 0. I don't recommend you do anything else that day. That's it. The next day, which is day 1, I am on the hunt for finding recipes. So I do things, and they have to be, I recommend you guys doing quick and easy. For me, I do just about anything because I love to cook. So where do I go and find recipes? This will shock you. I go to restaurants. So like today I went to Panera Bread, and a long time ago I asked them, where'd you get that dressing? Where can I get it? Or is it something made here? And they were like, I'm sorry, we make that here. And they lied to me. They lied, because I went to the grocery store and I saw the exact same salad dressing with their name on it in one of the aisles. I don't remember where it was. But at any rate, so I think about things that I love to eat, and I look at the labels. You guys know how to read labels now. If you don't, if you missed that video, go back and look at that video. So I look at labels and I'm like, and when I say labels, the ingredients, and then I look at labels when I buy it. But at this point, day one, I'm on the hunt for recipes. And where do I find those recipes? Pinterest, YouTube, Google, a friend. My family knows I love cooking, so cookbooks. You can go to a neighbor's house and ask them for cookbooks. But if you want something quick and you want to get it done, literally go on Pinterest. It's the way. You can also go on Instagram. So you go, you find what you want. Make sure that you type in healthy, because if you don't, you're liable to get a whole bunch of stuff. And then of course you want to look at the ingredients. You want to see what you're putting in it. And so that's what I do. Now I will tell you, for the most part, I do this on a separate day. And when I say for the most part, it's because I need to think about it. So all through the week, I'm thinking about, what do I want to eat? What have I been craving? And so I figure that out. I write it down. I grab a recipe. It literally is a copy and paste, you guys. This is not something that takes me forever. Do not write it down. Don't. It's too much work and you're going to get discouraged. So I copy, paste, or print it out. And when I do this, I always make sure I have a protein, a vegetable. I have some good or complex carbs. So that's brown, that kind of thing, like brown rice. Remember, you guys, go back to the other video, that the complex carbs are good carbs. So I make sure that I get enough of that I get full meals. And then I write down, now I do write. I literally write down whatever it tells me on the recipe. I literally get out my book. Everything goes in my journal. And this I do write down. I write a grocery list, and I write it based on whatever the recipe calls for. So I literally transfer whatever it is, and I know it's like double work, but it really isn't. If you write the recipe down and then you write it on your grocery list, that's twice. This, you're not doing that. You got a printed version of your recipe, and you're going to write down the ingredients on your grocery list. So you're going to write tomatoes and celery and whatever it is. You're going to write that all on your grocery list. Okay, so now you have a grocery list with everything on it. Then what I do is I go to my pantry and I start crossing off the stuff that I have. Now you guys might think I'm crazy. You're probably like, why would you write it down and then cross it off? I do that on purpose because I don't want to forget not one ingredient. I just don't. If I think about it, if I go in my refrigerator and I say, oh my God, I thought I had tomatoes, but I don't, then I'm pissed. So I write everything down that the recipe calls for, and then I go through my kitchen to say whether or not I have it. And if I have it, I cross it off. If I don't, it's already there. Hi, Niecy. All right. So that's what I do. I make my grocery list. That is on day 2. All right. So now, remember day 0, we started with day 0, cleaning out, tossing. Day 1, you're going to find recipes and you're going to print them out or whatever. And then day 2, you're going to transfer it to a grocery list. Now, here's the next thing I do. I do what I call a house walk. I do this all the time. It's so funny how you get so stuck in habits. I literally walk through my entire house after I put all of my ingredients on it from my kitchen or from the recipes, I literally go through my entire house and I see, what do I need? Do I need trash bags? Everything that's not food related. Do I need trash bags? Do I need dish detergent? Do I need washing detergent? Whatever it is, I write it down. I almost never, ever go in my cabinet and say, oh, I don't have such and such, because I'm a good planner. So I do my house walk. Do I need paper towels? Do I need napkins? And I literally go in all my cabinets and I go, oh, this doesn't look like it's a week's worth, so I'm gonna get some. And that's what I do. I just do what I call a house walk. And then I add to my list. Now, the reason why I also do that, and some of you may disagree with this, but this is just me because I don't have a lot of time. I do not go to more than one store. I go to one store and I get everything, because when I do my grocery shopping, I want to be done. I'm not going to 6 stores saving $5. I'm just not. I'm not going to do it. To me, it's not worth the gas. It's not worth the time. And quite frankly, it's not worth the money. It just doesn't balance out. That's me. You guys have to decide that on your own. All right. Now we're coming up on the next day. And I do this. This is, again, a separate day. This is day 3, I believe. You're going to go over your list again. So you've slept on it. You're like, oh, I thought I wanted spaghetti, but you know what? Spaghetti doesn't sound good right now, and it probably won't by the end of the week because I've had it twice. So you just start going through your list and saying, does it still make sense, and did I miss anything? And this is grocery shopping day. And then, big tip, you guys, you're going to eat a snack. You're either going to have a meal or you're going to have a snack. And I know you think I'm crazy right now, but you got to listen to this because I've been doing it for over 30 years. If you don't eat before you go to that doggone grocery store, everything's going to look good. And you're going to be like, oh, I definitely need some of this. I know it's not on my list, but I'm definitely going to need this. And oh my God, this sounds good. This tastes good. Don't do it. Eat a snack, drink your Shakeology, or eat a meal before you go. Now we're ready to go to the grocery store. And I'm going to tell you, I even wrote it down, do not enter in that grocery store without having your list. I'm telling you, don't wing it. You will lose every time. The grocery store always wins when you don't have a list. It's like going to the casino. The casino will always win. So make sure you got your list before you get in the car. All right, so that's a big one. Here is the next couple of things, and I'm going to talk about it when we actually take a trip to the grocery store, which will not be until Monday because I'll be out of town next Monday. But here are the tips. Stay on the outside aisles. That's where all of the produce and the fresh foods are. When you go in the middle of the store, you should only be getting things like paper towels, all things that are that you cannot eat. I'll say it that way. Things that are not edible. Those are the only things you are going to get from the middle of the store. Do not trick yourself into thinking the frozen food aisle is my friend because they're vegetables. No. You are not going to go near anything in the middle of the store. So if it's not on the outside aisles, either down, either left, right, front, or back. That's where your meats are. That's where your produce is. The aisles are up front, and down on the end you have some cheeses and that kind of thing. If it's not there and it's edible, you are not going to put it in your cart. That's a promise that you're going to make to me and yourself. Okay, that means no box food, no sweets, no junk food. Here's a big one, another tip, the deli. Stay away from the delis. You got to stay away from it. All of those sandwiches that you're eating, those lunch meats, they are loaded with sodium. I'm telling you, these are the tips that I'm giving you that people just don't know about. They think they're doing the right thing because they're thinking that they're eating healthy, and they're not. There's also a place in the store where you can buy roasted chickens. They're usually on the outside eye of the store as well. Those aren't as bad. They're not as bad, but I'd kind of stay away from them too. So anything prepared and anything in the mid aisles you're going to stay away from. All right, no soups, tons of sodium, tons, and no prepared food. So those are the things that you're going to stay away from. If those things that you are looking at in the grocery store, if those things that you're looking at are not on the list I just gave you, feel free to go get them. All right, so the next thing, here's your prep stuff that you want to make sure you get that's in the middle of the aisles. The foil, I showed you that the last time, the long one, large Ziploc bags, containers, a can of Pam, and trash bags. You will need trash bags, you guys, because you're gonna be doing some stuff in the kitchen, and you need to be prepared with this stuff. And you also need hand gloves. So if you haven't done this before, it's huge for me. I always wear gloves in the kitchen when I'm doing dishes. My water is extra hot, extra hot. And I think I mentioned to you, and I got this from a very dear friend of mine. She puts a little bit of bleach in her water. I talked about how I clean my refrigerator out with it. I also wash my dishes with it. And if you're sitting there going, that doesn't sound healthy, if you put dishes in the dishwasher, the dishwasher detergent has bleach in it. Okay, so it's not like I'm like pouring the whole can or bottle of bleach in there, just a little bit. All right, so you will need to put bleach on your list if you are extra clean nut like I am, and you'll want hand gloves no matter what, because you want to make sure that as you're washing dishes or cleaning out your pots or whatever in between or while you're meal planning, you want to have gloves on. I always do, because it just keeps your hands out of a lot of what you're doing. All right, so the next thing, so that's all your prep stuff. The next thing that you'll want to put on your list is ice. You have to have ice, and especially if you're doing Shakeology, you definitely want ice. And the rewards card. So if you shop at Safeway or some of the other stores, make sure you get your rewards card. If you don't have one, you need to go get one, because you're going to be going grocery shopping. And I'm telling you, you can save a lot. You really can. All right, those are my tips. And day 4, we cook and we pack everything up in the containers, and that's what we will be doing when I talk to you next. So on Monday, we'll go to the grocery store together, and that will probably be the time where I need to go shopping myself anyway, because I'll be out of town and I'll just be coming back, and so you'll be seeing me do it live. I won't be on the whole time because I'm usually there about an hour and a half, but you'll see most of my time there. Please put a note below and tell me, listen up, tell me what tips you want to hear when we come on live again at the grocery store and actually do our cooking or our meal prep. Tell me what you'd like to hear, because I want to make sure I'm incorporating that in the video. What things are you struggling with meal planning? What things that you always want to know, but geez, you just haven't figured out yet. So write that below. Anicia is saying, can we have salad from Trader Joe's? You know, I don't think that's bad at all. I think where you run into trouble is if they put any kind of protein in it. So chicken, fish, any of that, because they want to keep it fresh, so they pump a lot of preservatives in it. And that's where a lot of the sodium comes from as well. So I would say yes, definitely have the salad. I buy salad in the bags. Let me see if I have some. I do. I think I do. Yeah, I have salad that I have in the bag, and I get it from like Safeway or whatever. And again, it's probably not the very best, but it's Dole Fresh. And what I do is, like this one is 13 grams of fat, which is a lot. But that's because of the salad dressing. So I don't use the salad dressing that comes with it. And then carbohydrates is 13 grams. And then sodium is 230 milligrams. So if you remember from my video, that's okay. And then the other thing is serving size is about 1.5 cups, which is right about what I eat when I eat a salad. The other thing is sugar is 10 grams, but again, it's coming from that salad dressing, which I don't use, so I am pretty good. If you buy those salads, Nisi, make sure that you bring your that you use your own dressing, and I have some dressing recipes that I'm gonna give to you guys, because that's where a lot of the fat and sodium is coming from as well. So there you go. Any other questions? I think I saw Kathy. Yeah, Kathy jumped on. Kathy, I know you were big on this topic too. So do you have any questions? And you might have to rewind. I definitely want you guys to listen to this whole video before Monday, before next Monday, because if you're not keeping up, you're just gonna be like, oh, it's too much information and I'll just figure it out later. And then before you know it, you'll be out of the group, and because the group will be closed and then we move on. But you can always come back. That's an option. All right. Hey, if you guys know people that you think would find this information helpful, please let them know about the group. I will also, like I said, I'll also be putting it out there on social media so that people can see. To me, for the longest time, I didn't want to do these videos. I was like, I'm not doing it because everyone knows this stuff and it's just such a yawner. And then my friends started saying, you got to do it because people don't know. And I was like, really? I thought everybody knew this. And it's probably like that with other stuff too. We think people know, but people don't necessarily know. So hopefully you guys are getting some good nuggets. Kathy, is anything that I'm saying, and Nisi, can you guys just drop a note real quick and tell me, is this helpful to you? Are you finding any good nuggets in this? Because I want to make sure that I'm giving you content that you can use for your families, for yourself. And okay, so I will check out your notes. I'm off again, back on a plane tomorrow, and my whole goal is to be 100% transparent to my clients. You guys, as you know, I say this all the time, my job is to serve you. And so whether I've got things going on in my family or in my life that take me off path, so to speak, I want to make sure I'm still delivering good content to you and being an effective coach. So I hope this is also I thought about this earlier, I hope that this is also a way or a point for you guys to know that without a routine, you just can't do very much. And people ask me all the time, how do you do all the stuff you do? It's because I live by a routine, and it's very, very important. So anyway, I love you guys. If you have any questions, drop me a note. And it's Nisi Johnson signing off. Love you guys. Bye.